be comedian Bill Bur, who just had a sold-out show at Fenway Park, which was absolutely incredible. I'm so sad that I missed that, Claudia.
I'm sad I missed it too. Maybe we can get some free jokes here now, though, on Zoom, right? That'd be even better. Boston, born and bred, the one and only Bill Bur. What's going on? Thanks for joining us.
How are you? I'm trying to hold this camera the way I'm supposed to. I'm in the hotel room in Toronto. I have my palate cleanser show from the Fenway Park show tonight. I got a couple shows over the next couple of days up here.
And listen, Bill, we missed the show at Fenway. Unfortunately, it was sold out. We tried to sneak in, but better luck next time.
Yep.
How did the show go? I mean, the first comedian headlining at Fenway, how did that feel for you?
It was pretty, I'm not going to lie to you. I tried to mentally block out how big the show was, but it was just Tony V went up first. And I was listening when he was out there, and the crowd was just amazing. They were just like, it was like a giant comedy club, and they were listening and laughing and all of that. And all of my nervousness went away watching Tony up there crushing it. And I was like, this is just going to be a comedy show. So it was really hard not to get freaked out, though, when I was up there, because I had all of these memories. I was standing up there going like, I remember seeing a father fight his son right over there in the 80s. I remember being hammered up there and passing out for like 2 innings and waking up and I had mustard all over my shirt. And I could feel people, when you know you were the guy, but you don't know what you did.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to like make amends like, hey, how are you?
You ever see any Yankees-Red Sox fights when you were out here?
Oh, yeah. You know what? The Yankee fans didn't travel as well. I really think like when the whole advent of like before cable came out, like New York was like a zillion miles away and we were a million miles. We like lived out, in the cow pastures as far as they were concerned. It wasn't like the way it is now. Like you just go to any random game. You go like to a Padres Cardinals game in St. Louis and there'll be all these friggin' Padre fans. Like, why are you guys even out here? So it wasn't like that when I was growing up. It was definitely more like Bruins-Canadiens games. Those stupid Canadian fans would come down. It was hilarious. They'd be all, come down with their little pocket squares and their loafers and stuff like that. All the Frenchy guys would come down. And, there would be fights in the stands then. I felt more like Bruins games. There were fights. But like at the Red Sox games, it was pretty much when I was growing up, it was just Red Sox fans.
Yeah, they're a rowdy bunch. Hockey fights are definitely more interesting. So you grew up in Massachusetts. Of course, we're here for the Jimmy Fund. How much did you know about Jimmy Fund growing up in Mass?
Well, I remember seeing it for a long time, not knowing what it was. Just being a kid, and the Jimmy Fund, I forget what the logo was, but I thought he was like some kid, with the biggest paper route in town or something. That was the job they have. And then I found out later that it was, some kid from way back in the day that ended up getting cancer and I believe passing away from it. But it was something that I learned early on with sports of how much that they help out people and they help out the community and they're always doing benefits and stuff like that. And they're still doing it to this day, which is something that bothers me as a sports fan, how much that the sports media a lot of times, or especially people who aren't into sports, focus on negative behavior by a very few athletes. And like most athletes that I see and read about all have some sort of charity where they're trying to give back to either the city that they're playing in or where they grew up from, in baseball, there's a lot of players from like the Dominican Republic. And I'm always seeing stories of all of this stuff that they do back in the Dominican Republic, and I just feel like it's not reported on enough. So that's why it's cool that you guys are talking about this today.
Absolutely. And so, Bill, we know that you don't shy away from talking about real life issues. And so when we talk about cancer, we know that cancer does not discriminate. What would you say to our viewers as far as why they should support the Jimmy Fund?
Oh, because they've turned our food supply into poison, so we're probably all going to get cancer. So you're actually, even if you're selfish, you can just look at it like you are helping yourself in the future. sorry,
There
but
it
that's
is.
the truth. And I think that's why they go after comedians, because they don't want to go after this other stuff because they got too much money. So we're sort of these sitting targets. Like, I can't believe you made that joke about, about Fall River. There are people in Fall River right now that let dumps outrage over nothing.
You know what
And
I'm outraged over? I'm here to see you, and you're gone. You're gone. I came in.
oh
I
my
missed.
God,
I,
it's
I,
Lenny Clark.
I missed it by a day. Can you? Is it maybe 2 days? I've been a bad boy lately. What do you think of the girls? Gorgeous, right? Oh, you can't
I
say
don't think
that
you're
either.
allowed to say that.
No,
Well,
you
you already
can't.
said it.
Yeah, I
Lenny,
did.
those are
Too
women,
late, Bill.
and they are brave, and they are warriors, and all
And
that other
they
stuff.
can beat me in a spelling bee. Well aware of that. Well aware of it. Hey, I'm glad it went so good for you the other night, Bill. I just want
Hey,
to
how
jump in
much
and tell
fun
you.
was Giggles the other night hanging out?
Smoking, cigars. Very, very. It was a great night, and I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish with the ladies, and I'll be in a few minutes.
Thanks,
We'll donate
Lenny.
some
Thanks,
money. All
Lenny.
right, thanks.
Thank you.
I like how
you.
he went from girls to ladies. Like that was his upgrade. He went from 1972 to 76. You just saw Lenny being progressive.
4 years, that's it.
You had to take the
Hey,
step
at least
up.
he didn't start off with broads. He's grown a lot.
All class over here. Bill, I want to talk about Boston specifically because you have been traveling the world being this famous comedian, but you're still truly down in your heart a guy from Boston. What makes Boston so special to you?
I don't know. Well, I grew up there, so I don't have a frame of reference. It's the place where I grew up in the suburbs. So I always say that too, because once you leave Massachusetts, and you tell people, that, I wouldn't say I was from Canton because then they'd always go, Ohio. And then I'd have to continue this conversation I didn't want to have. So I always say the Boston area. And then because of Goodwill Hunting, they'd always just be like, oh, did you grow up in Southie? Did you steal cars? Were you good at math? No, I grew up in the safe suburbs, played street hockey, in cul-de-sacs. But I would say, I don't know, there's just something really special about the place as far as just like how funny people are. Like all of my friends that I went to high school with, all of them were equally, if not funnier than I was. They just didn't pursue comedy. And I always felt like, I was the storyteller and they were the story. So I don't know. I just think the food, how much the average person knows about sports. And then I also felt like, when that show Cheers was on, that Cliff Clavin character, where he was sort of this guy that you thought was like, not that smart. And then he would just have this random knowledge about things. They sort of played it up like he was actually dumb. In Boston, you'll actually hang out with somebody, that just got into a fist fight at Stop and Shop, but then they can actually talk about like the Milky Way and stuff like this. Like, dude, like how many levels to you are there? So I don't know. I just remember growing up and everybody was funny, and I had a really a great time being there, and the food was great, and the sports were great. Even back then, we used to lose all the time. Especially the Red Sox and all of that type of stuff. And now I'm really happy for younger people where they watch the Red Sox. They expect them to win the World Series. They expect, the Patriots to win a Super Bowl, Stanley Cups and NBA championships, which is great.
Yeah, anything less than a ring, we're definitely spoiled over here in Boston. Before we let you go, talk to us about some of the projects you have going on right now.
Yeah, especially this Old Dads project that you're co-writing and directing.
Yeah, so me and my writing partner, Ben Tischler, another Massachusetts guy. I got married late in life and had kids late in life because I was a lunatic but was smart enough to know that I needed to fix myself so I could, sort of break some of the stuff in the coaching tree of my family tree. And, so I got married late in life. So my wife's 10 years younger than me. I have a little bit of a generation gap there. And my daughter's just starting kindergarten. And I went to kindergarten like 50 years ago. So I don't even know what half the parents are talking about. Like, I'll be like, oh, you're over there in the jungle gym. and they'll be like, actually, it's called the structure. And then I got to like freak out going, oh my God, did I call all the kids here monkeys? And did I just say something racist? Like, what the hell just happened? So it's really about a guy being, trying to do the right thing, living in today's world. But it's really balanced where you see some of the stuff from the old school way is the right way to do it. And then sometimes the younger kids have it right. And it's, I don't know. I probably didn't explain it right. I wasn't prepared for that question.
No, it all
Whatever.
sounded good.
It's fine.
Sounded good.
We get
All right.
it.
Really
We get
funny.
the idea.
And like my act. So there'll be a lot of hairy-legged white chicks from college that probably don't enjoy it, but I don't care about them because none of them have ever made me laugh. So, go.
Well, listen, Bill, you always make us laugh.
A man who says it like it is.
Thank you so much
no,
for the time.
A man who says it like he thinks it is.
Right, okay.
That's
fair.
If you think you're saying it, if you're telling it the way it is, you're not open to new information. So I realize I'm a moron.
Not a moron, but actually a new Fenway Park legend. So
Yes.
we're going
That
to
is
end it
true.
on that.
I
Bill
cannot
Bur.
even tell you how unbelievable. Like, I'm still trying to process how amazing that show was, and everybody, Larry, Beth, everybody over at the Red Sox, Bill Blumenreich, everybody who, helped me out with that gig, and everybody that showed up. Like, I have never been in front of a crowd that big, and they were absolutely amazing. I didn't get heckled once. I couldn't believe it. I was like, these people are going to be hammered, just trashing me, and they were amazing. I'll never forget it.
Can we officially say right here in the Jimmy Fund Telethon that was your favorite show ever here in Fenway Park? Can we say that?
It's the only show I've ever been to, other than when I was growing up. The show was an S show when I was growing up, the Red Sox back in the day.
We're going to take that as a yes.
My first year when I watched the Red Sox, I picked 1978. That was my inauguration into being a Red Sox fan. But I love how they've totally turned the culture around. And, when the dressing room that they had was down the hallway of the dugout, which I couldn't believe, went by the dressing room. And when I just looked at all the pictures now, that it was now all success and not pain and championships and all of that. It was just, it was amazing. It was amazing. There's a picture in Logan Airport of Big Papi standing there right, as somebody's coming in after a walk-off home run. And you just see the look on his face. Like, I don't think there's ever been a better leader of a sports team in my lifetime that I ever saw. It's amazing. It's just really amazing. So anyway, sorry, I'm babbling.
No, you're fine. Really quick, because I keep saying before we let you go, we're going to have Lenny Clark on here. Do you have anything we can tease him about or anything we should ask him about? Because you know him better than we do.
Just ask him about his health history and how he's always been, a teetotaler. And, he always chose the apple rather than the apple martini.
All right. See, it's good.
An apple a day.
I could talk to him about some of his fashion choices.
Okay.
Although he looked really conservatively dressed.
He did.
Sometimes he likes to dress like the cop in Legoland. A bright yellow shirt with jet black pants, just so everybody notices he's walking in. No, I love Lenny to death. And if there was no Lenny Clark and Mike Clark, there would be no Boston comedy scene. I never would have got to do Fenway. And you could also ask him about how many pull-ups he can do. He's in absolute savage shape.
Wow.
Which is why I only make fun of him via Zoom calls. When I'm around him, I go and get him a coffee.
All right, perfect. Bill Bur, the one and only, thank you so much. We enjoyed having you on.
Thanks,
we appreciate
Bill.
it.
All right, thank you, guys. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
See ya.